So everybody loves Mario Kart, myself included. Mario Kart's amazing. It's a ton of fun. The games vary on, who likes which one more or whatever. But at the end of the day, they're a ton of fun. But that being said, there is one thing that I really am hoping for the future of Mario Kart games because it's something that they've actually done. And it might surprise some people because I feel like this game is kind of like the outlier when it comes to the Mario Kart series. Because for me, I actually really enjoyed Mario Kart Tour for what it was. I had a friend who was playing it. We actually did I think it was like $5 a month or something. And it allowed you to do whatever it allowed you to do. Honestly, I don't even really remember anymore because once he stopped playing it, I stopped playing it. I haven't touched it since. It's been a very long time, but I had a lot of fun with it. But the one thing that game did, and I feel like a lot of people give it credit for, is there was a lot more when it came to different characters and stuff like that. And what I would really like for the future Mario Kart titles, because there is one thing that, myself included, that I feel like a lot of people like doing, even if there's, oh my goodness, my voice, I don't know if that's staying in the video, even if there's no point to do it, is collecting coins. In Mario games, you'll run and collect coins. I mean, a lot of times we don't need any more 1-ups, but we'll still grab the coins. Mario Kart's a little bit different because if it's like way out of your way, you already have 10 coins, maybe you're not going to go for it. But I really wish that collecting the coins would go into a virtual bank and then there was a shop that you could go to. I think it would be a ton of fun. And there was like more carts you could buy, different cart parts and different characters and maybe even different costumes for the characters. And they could even set it up to where it's like Splatoon, where you go on and every day there's like different stuff in the shop. So it gives you incentive to go on every day. They could have events where it's like, ooh, it's double coin Tuesday and you go online and you're getting double coins. I feel like there's like they could even have like a coin mayhem mode that comes out every now and then where like coins are just friggin' showering down and you drive and try to get as many coins as you can. They could even have it to be where like if you do enough races, you get like tickets to like go into the coin mayhem thing and it's like a totally different track, or it could just be like segmented of like a track that's already there and Lakitu's just throwing a bunch of coins down. Even like maybe money bags, maybe there's like a skilled one where like it's not just a bunch of coins, it's like you got to like really try to race and navigate and get all the coins. I think there's a lot they could do with that because the way they have it now in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, you just unlock the parts randomly from getting coins. I think it was like every 100 coins or something, you get like a new part. I don't really think this method of doing it would be almost like what they already have, except way more in depth and way more like it would give you more of a drive to go for stuff. Like what if one day you went on and you saw like, because what I wish they would do is also have like decals. And it makes me think of like Mario Kart DS where you could like draw your own like thing for your kart. They could have like decals. And like, let's say you go on the shop and there's like this super cool decal and it's like 5,000 coins. You might play that game for a long time. Like, I am getting that because I don't know if it's going to be there tomorrow. So, and even if there was nothing that great in the shop that day, it would give you incentive to be like, I'm going to play for a bit because like my coin count's kind of low and I want to be able to buy potentially whatever is in the shop in the following days. I feel like it would add a lot to like the drive, no pun intended, but the drive to want to play Mario Kart. Because I find for myself what ends up happening, this is what happened with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and I believe it happened with Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U as well, is I get to a point where I end up playing online a bunch, and it's fun, but I get to a point where, because like the ranking in Mario Kart, I don't care too much about. Like, I try to get to like certain like thresholds, but I don't really care that much. Whereas so what ends up happening is that I just kind of start to fizzle out because it kind of starts to feel a little bit samey and I don't really have like a reason to hop on. So after a while, I just kind of fizzle out. But if they did this coin thing, I would definitely be playing a lot more. Because I mean, it's honestly endless the amount of possibilities they could do with it. Like, I don't think they'd ever lock tracks behind it or anything, but I just think there's a lot that they could do with it because Nintendo very much loves doing free DLC. And I think this would actually go well with it because sometimes they do free DLC, and as crazy as it sounds, because it's like, dude, it's free. Why would you complain about it? A lot of us get kind of annoyed with how they handle it because sometimes it's like, well, they're adding content that just should have kind of been in the game and stuff like that. It'd be really interesting if all of a sudden it was like from now to now, well, okay, maybe the duration thing would get a little bit annoying, but let's just say they release it. So like the game's out for a couple months and then it's like, starting on this day, you are able to get Gold Mario. If you get 50,000 coins, you can buy Gold Mario. That would give you incentive because even just completionists like myself, even if I didn't want to play as Gold Mario, I would want to save up the coins. And what if they had a gold version of every character and it cost a lot of money? I absolutely would grind the game, get all those coins to then buy all those characters. Like, for sure, I would want to get the whole roster. It could get, a little iffy on like, would you want to get all the decals and stuff like that? Because there could be a ton. It could take forever. But it'd be nice to have that option because it would definitely give me a huge drive to continue to play the game. Because that's one thing that I feel like Nintendo doesn't really look at much that like I feel like all the other companies do. Where I feel like nowadays, it's not like it was back then. Where, I mean, when I was growing up, I didn't even have online with a lot of these games. I mean, it was like Mario Kart 64. I would just replay it and replay it and replay it. And I had a bunch of fun doing it. But you fast forward to now, and I mean, there's so many features now in games. It's kind of hard to, I mean, sometimes I still do like playing it, but it's very different now, I feel like, to get a brand new game and be like, all right, I'll make my own fun out of it. So like, yes, Mario Kart does have online and stuff like that now, but I feel like the Nintendo in general just doesn't really go for like what the other companies do to like keep giving you incentive to play. I feel like they're aware of it though, and that's why they do free DLC. And I think in their heads, it's supposed to do kind of what I'm outlining, where it's like, oh, it'll keep them going on the game and playing. But I feel like the way that they do it and for what they add, I don't really think it keeps people playing. I mean, when you take a game like Mario Strikers Battle League, granted that game had a lot of problems in general, I don't think the characters were getting people to hop back on and play for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours because it was only adding so much to a game that already was pretty bare bones. So I feel like they don't really look at like, okay, well, yeah, I mean, I think they could have been adding characters every 2 weeks for like a year for Battle League, and I don't think it would have really helped the player count. I don't have the exact numbers, but that game was very bare bones. And I feel like, when it comes to Mario Kart, it's definitely not bare bones because like the whole concept of the game is just playing it and having fun. It's a very chaotic, casual party. Like you can be serious, but you don't have to. Fun game. So they don't really have as much of an issue on like, people playing it and enjoying it. Like a ton of people are doing that. But there is no way that I'm the only one that eventually kind of gets fizzled out. And I'm like, well, I don't really think I want to do this as much as I potentially could. I feel like Nintendo used to back then, they would add. It's funny because for what I just said about what they try to do with free DLC to give people like more incentive and a drive to play, I feel like they did used to do this. Because now that I'm thinking about Mario Kart DS, there was the challenges to do. And when you think about like Melee, all of the events and stuff like that to do, whereas you fast forward to like Smash Ultimate and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, I don't really think it has much of that at all. Which is weird to think about because, I mean, they're both way newer. So it's weird that back then they did. That's where, honestly, I think Nintendo thinks that just by adding online, they fixed the problem. And I just kind of disagree. I mean, yes, online is fun, But when your competitors have online plus a bunch of other layers onto it, and then you go to Nintendo, granted, Nintendo makes very fun games. So like with Smash Bros, I mean, with the online alone, I shouldn't say alone because I don't know how much time I spent doing what, but I have over 3,000 hours in Smash. So the online has kept me busy. But that's just because I really love playing that game. And I'm sure there's other people that they've already fizzled out. So but that's a totally different topic because I don't know what they could do for that to keep people playing. But with Mario Kart, I think an in-game shop, I think it would do a ton. And to give incentive to collecting those coins, because I know that the coins, you get the 10, it improves I believe it improves your top speed. I think a lot of people would have a lot of fun just collecting them. I bet you there's people that collect them now just for funsies. They don't even care about the change in the speed thing. I just want to collect coins because it's fun to do. I know that, even when you hit the 10, if you hit a coin, you get like a slight little boost right when you get the coin. But I think a lot of people would have fun getting the coins. And I think it would just add more incentive to play the game. A daily shop, virtual bank, it would just be so much fun to like do a bunch of races, and then like you could go to like the bank and there's like a toad there and he's like, hey, like, want to see how much money you've saved up? And then it just like virtually shows all the coins like pile in, so you could like wait a really long time to visit the bank and try to like build it up as high as you can. And then because I don't think they would do it after every race, because I feel like it would just like, it'd be weird if you're playing online and every single race you see it going into the bank. Because it'd be like, who knows? It could be like 15 to 20 coins during certain races. So I feel like it wouldn't be as fun to see that all the time. But like you get it to like build up, and then you go in there and just see the coins just freaking piling in. I just thinking about that sounds like a ton of fun to me. But with this video though, I definitely don't want to come off as like Mario Kart is the most boring, most stale game that's ever existed, and I will play the next one for an hour. No. I love Mario Kart. I love the series. If they never do this, I'm still going to play it and enjoy it. I just wish that this is something that they would do, because I feel like it would give a lot of incentive to just play. And that's kind of what I miss. I just want to just play. And you could absolutely make the argument of, oh, Marcin, what's stopping you? Just launch the game and play. But I don't know. For some games, it's not the same as when I was a kid. I just don't want to. I mean, when you think of the contrast, I was just playing Mario Kart 64 by myself against CPUs doing the Grand Prix. But you fast forward to now, if I'm playing Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, I'm going to go online. And after a while, you just start to, at least for myself, I just start to go, well, that was fun. Like I'll do like a few races, and it's like, well, that was fun. And then that's kind of it. But like I said, that's just something on me, because I'm sure there's people that to this day are still launching Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and still having a ton of fun. I just think it's one of those things that if they added, it'd just be a great bonus. But like I said, I will enjoy Mario Kart for the rest of my life, unless if they ever make one where the bikes are better again, because it still made no sense to me, because it's called Mario Kart. And yes, I am that annoying about it, and I have been since it came out on the Wii. But before I get dislikes for that, let me know what you think about all this in the comment section down below, and take care.